Hi beautiful souls, welcome to my channel Elle's Temple. My name is Elle, I am a goddess guide and intuitive tarot reader, and today I am so excited to be bringing you a reading all about if you continue on this current path, what outcome is assured for you. So we have 4 beautiful goddesses to choose from today with 4 different readings. So if you are drawn to the beautiful goddess Kali with endings and beginnings, you will be pile number 1 and your timestamp will be in the description box below. Okay, if you are drawn to the butterfly woman with openness and renewal, you'll be pile number 2 and your timestamp will be in the description box below. If you are drawn to goddess Isis with unions and sacred relationships, you'll be pile number 3. And if you are drawn to the beautiful goddess Artemis with independence and personal power, you will be pile number 4. Okay, my love, so pause the video if you need a little bit more time to choose which pile draws you in. If you are drawn to more than one pile, that's completely fine. Just trust that your intuition may be drawing you to more than one pile because there may be some different messages across the different piles that are going to resonate for you at this time. So only overtake what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, my love, so pause the video if you need a bit longer to choose. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the beautiful goddess Kali with endings and beginnings, this will be your reading on what outcome is assured if you continue on your current path. So let's begin with some tarot cards that I've pre-pulled for you, and then we'll move into the oracle cards just after. So we have got 7 of Wands, we've got freedom, we've got Justice, lots of major arcana, 4 of Wands, and 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so right off the bat, pile number 1, just to give you a quick rundown of how I'm going to do the reading, we're going to start with the tarot looking at your current path and what you've been going through and what you're going through now, and then we're going to look at the oracle cards to kind of see what sort of outcome is going to come about as a result of staying on this sort of trajectory, if you like. So I feel like with Kali and endings and beginnings, straight off the bat I'm getting that you have maybe just gone through the ending of something and you're in a cycle of rebirth, you're in a cycle of closing something out. Something has ended, whether you've walked away from something or someone has walked away from you, or something has just ended outside of your control. I feel like with Kali, because Kali is often a goddess who comes into sort of affect a bit like a tower moment in our lives. For those of you that know tarot and know the tower card, it's often like unexpected dramatic change. And Kali can sometimes be a goddess who will come in and kind of pull the proverbial rug out from under our feet. And at the time it can feel like a rude and sudden shock. And there can be that feeling of like, hey, but I was standing on that foundation. That was something I was, I thought was going to be a long-term thing, or that was something that, I'd built a foundation on. But over a period of time, after a certain period of time, you can look back and go, okay, I see how Goddess Kali in her infinite wisdom, or the universe, whatever you believe in, I see how that got pulled away from me at that time because it was building a false foundation. It was kind of building something that wasn't really aligned. It was building something on a false foundation that was unsteady and was going to eventually crumble anyway. And I see that this needed to happen in order for you to create a much stronger foundation, and in order for you to essentially find your own power and find your own strength and find your own freedom. I feel like with the 7 of Wands here, like whatever cycle you were in before that's being closed out at the moment, or you've walked away from, or whether it was a relationship, whether it was it could have been a job, you could have maybe just gone through a redundancy, or I'm picking up more of a relationship for many of you, but that may not be the case for all of you. For some of you, it might be quite a significant ending in a career or something like that. But it was something that was very close to you and something that you built a foundation on. But I feel like it was something where with the Seven of Wands, you had to defend yourself a lot. It's like you were getting kind of attacked at all corners in this particular cycle that you're closing out, whether this was maybe, and I really hope this isn't the case, but maybe for some of you in this particular relationship, it may have been a little bit verbally abusive, possibly, or if not full-blown abusive, then certainly you felt like you had to defend yourself a lot. Maybe the energy was a little bit negative that was coming at you, or maybe you had to kind of like sort of almost like fight to keep the relationship going or something like that. Like maybe you had a lot of, I don't know, maybe other people like gossiping about you or trying to interfere in your connection in some way or something like that. And I'm so sorry if you have been through that, pile number one. It can be really, really tough if, you know, you've dealt with a lot of, you know, whether it's sort of evil eye or negative intentions being sent your way, jealousy, just people interfering, in, yeah, whether it was a relationship, whether it was maybe in a job, maybe some of you were, you know, in some sort of role, some sort of job where people were kind of attacking you. Like maybe you were just not getting the support that you needed from colleagues, or, you know, there were competitors who were attacking you and you had to like constantly defend yourself. I feel like with that Seven of Wands there. I feel like this was something that was part of the soul contract between either you and this person or you and this job or whatever it was that you've ended, for you to kind of galvanize that strength and find that like that inner resilience and inner strength to keep going and to stand up for yourself. Like maybe some of you were facing things like some sort of verbal attacks or verbal abuse or being belittled or something like that. And you had to really learn how to stand up for yourself. You had to really learn how to defend yourself here. You can see this woman in the Seven of Cups card. She's got, you know, a shield which she's holding out, and she's got sort of body armor on. So it's like you're closing out a cycle where you had to really shield yourself. You had to really shield your energy, protect yourself, guard yourself, be on guard. So maybe some of you might have been dealing with, I'm hearing walking on eggshells. So maybe some of you might have been dealing with someone who, you know, they might have been a bit emotionally volatile. They might have been prone to just lashing out or being very aggressive or having temper tantrums or something like that. This could be a boss, you know, or it could be a colleague. It could be a family member even. You know, you could be closing out a cycle of living at home, you know, and breaking out into, you know, going out and being on your own. Because I feel like with freedom here, this new beginning, because we've got with Kali, whenever there's an ending, there's a new beginning that follows. There's a reason that something had to end, and it's in order to bring about this new beginning. And for you, this new beginning is all to do with personal freedom and sovereignty, having that freedom to choose the life that you want, to go in the direction that you want, to, you know, breathe how you want, think how you want, act how you want. So I definitely feel like some of you might have been subject to some criticism previously, again, whether that was from a partner, from a family member, something like that, where there was just like maybe a lot of like nitpicking. I'm hearing maybe certain ways you were doing things were being criticized a lot or something like that. But with this freedom, I feel like you're going to have the freedom to really choose what direction you want to go in. You can see her arm is outstretched. She's kind of pointing over there, and I'm hearing like, let's get out of here. So for some of you, this new beginning is like, right, I am getting out of this place, I'm getting out of this job, I'm getting out of this relationship, and I'm going over there as far away as I can, is kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like you're really, yeah, taking off, you're going forward. With the wings on her back as well, it could be that you're literally like flying to another country or something. You're moving far away, so it could be travel, could be involved possibly. But I feel like also with the crescent moons here, moons are symbolic of intuition. So I feel like intuitively you were moved, or you've gone through this cycle where you know that this had to close out, you had to let go of something, or you had to end something. And you're starting to trust your intuition to guide you where to go next. It's like your intuition has said, okay, get out of this, get out of here, go in this direction, follow this. This is where you're meant to be going. This is the direction that is best for you, that is most aligned for you. With the color blue on her dress, I'm getting this is linked with the throat chakra, which is all about self-expression. So I definitely feel like for those of you that might have been stuck in something where you couldn't express your true self, or anytime you spoke up, you were criticized or attacked, or, just everything that you tried to do yourself, it got really nitpicked on or something like that. I feel like this new phase, this new beginning, what you're moving towards is being able to be free to fully express your true authentic self. So some of you may have possibly experienced some kind of possibly gaslighting or something like that, or something where like your reality was denied or your truth was denied repeatedly is what I'm hearing. I'm so sorry if you've been through that. I do know that experience, and it can be very painful and very difficult, but I want to congratulate you if you have stepped away from this, if you have closed out the cycle, or if the universe has come in, or Goddess Kali has come in and pulled that rug out from under your feet, which may have felt like a rude shock at the time, like I said, but in retrospect you might look back once you're in this new cycle of freedom and be like, oh my gosh, yes, like I feel so much more free to be able to be myself. I feel so much more free to be able to speak my truth and say what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, what is true to me, without feeling fear of being criticized or told that that's not true, or like that I'm being crazy, or I'm making something up, or like why do I believe in this, or why do I want to do that, or whatever it is. It's like you're just going to have so much more freedom and sovereignty to go in the direction that you want to. I'm definitely picking up on a dynamic that's like a parent and child dynamic. So for some of you, this could be I'm kind of getting more of a mother figure, to be honest, than a father figure, though for some of you this may be a father figure, or some carer, or someone in your like family unit. Could even be like a older sister or something. But I do feel like there was sort of energies that were coming in that were kind of trying to affect your life direction, essentially, which is quite major stuff. And I feel like that's why for you, pile number one, you have two major arcana cards. And when we see major arcana cards come out in the tarot, this is indicative of the fact that you are going through a big life change. These are essentially once in a lifetime things, or very significant life things. They're not sort of day-to-day things. They're not just, a 5-year cycle or something. This is very, very impactful on the rest of your life. This is a significant ending that's happened, a significant new beginning that you're stepping into. It's a significant thing that you've had to walk away from, or that's been pulled away from you. And it's all about helping you step into your true self, helping you find the freedom and the self-sovereignty to go in the direction that you want to. With the Justice card here, I feel like you are going to find personal justice for this situation without needing to arrange that on the outside. So what I mean by that is, if you have dealt with some sort of difficult person, whether it was full-blown outright abuse, or just someone who was very difficult and nitpicking and coming at you with things left, right and center, or just sort of negative energy, jealousy, things like that, whatever it was that you were dealing with, whatever cycle you're closing out and you've walked away from, you're going to get the justice that you deserved, in the sense that like the universe is going to take care of that for you. Like karma is going to take care of that. Like whatever energy these people put at you, energy that you put out, it comes back to you threefold, right? That's the kind of sort of like credence of it's like a goddess thing, or like a witch's thing, or whatever. Like whatever you put out comes back to you in threes. So like if someone's sent you negative energy, they're just going to get negative energy back in threefold. Like the universe is going to take care of this for you. Like justice will be served, whatever they've done to you, whether it was abusive, whatever it might be. First of all, it's just a sign of how they feel inside. Whatever they've got going on within is being projected outward at you. You shouldn't have had to go through that. No one should ever have to go through any abuse, and you did not deserve this, is what is coming through extremely strongly. Goddess Kali wants you to know that even though, you ended up in that situation, it is not your fault. You didn't deserve it. You shouldn't have had to defend yourself in that situation. And the reason it's had to end is so that the reason it's ended is because you've learned the lesson of standing up for yourself now, and you've learned what it's been like to be in a situation where you've had to defend yourself, and now you don't need to do that anymore. Now you're finding freedom. You're finding your authentic truth. You're being able to speak up for yourself, to stand up for yourself, to speak up for your needs, and you are going to get justice in this arena, in this regard. Like, the universe is going to serve justice to this person, so you don't need to kind of like do that. You don't need to kind of like create any sort of situation that kind of wreaks any sort of vengeance or tells them how it is or anything like that. I mean, unless of course you want to, unless of course like you're feeling called to, or that it's the right thing to do to kind of let them know exactly how they hurt you. Like, certainly if that's what you're feeling compelled to do, then by all means, do what you intuitively feel is right. That is all about what this freedom card is saying. And this, listening to your intuition is saying it's important now to go with what your intuition is telling you. But in terms of like karmic justice, this person is going to meet their due. They're going to have whatever they've put out in the universe come back to them, and you're going to see the justice, like, it's going to unfold in a good way for you. Like, by finding that freedom, by carving out their freedom, like, you're going to get that personal sense of vindication and justice. And also I feel like you're going to be able to get to a point where you can look back and see that this had to end, that was sort of like you had to find that justice for yourself, in a sense. Like, you had to maybe close out some kind of contract, because the justice card can sometimes speak about contracts and something formal. So maybe some of you are going through a divorce. Maybe some of you are literally breaking some kind of contract. So it could be divorce. It could be a work contract. Some of you are walking away, creating freedom for yourself. You're moving towards better work, or working for yourself. You're not going to be in this workplace anymore where you're being abused or being like criticized or being attacked by people, maybe whether it's other customers or other staff members or your boss or whatever it might be. But you're one of the things I feel like some of you are doing is breaking some kind of contract. You're walking away so you can find that personal justice for yourself. You're ending something. Or the endings and beginnings. You're ending a contract. You're ending a formal agreement, a formal something that was binding. I feel like something that was possibly binding. So for some of you, this could almost be, it may not even be like a contract in the 3D world, in the sense that this could have been a soul contract for some of you. This could have been something that your souls signed up to before you came to Earth, so that you could experience that and grow and learn through it, and learn how to stand up for yourself and find that freedom within and that strength to like go in the direction that your intuition is telling you. With the Four of Wands here, I feel like this is all about like you creating a brand new foundation for yourself. I feel like with this is a quite unusual Four of Wands card, with this hand that's rising up out of the earth. I do get the vibe that for some of you, you were sort of drowning in whatever this situation was that has ended, and it's like you've held up your hand kind of to the universe or to the goddess or to your angels or whatever you believe in, and been like, help, get me out of here. And it's like something's ended quite dramatically to pull you out of that situation and onto a new path where you're free and where you can create your own foundation for yourself, and you can kind of come back up above ground again from being sort of stuck in this situation. So I do feel like you're in a process now, and we'll get more information on what the outcome's going to be from the oracle cards. But I do feel like the process that you're in at the moment is finding a new foundation for yourself. So whether that's like, Four of Wands can speak about, creating a home, creating that foundation of a home. So moving homes, like maybe you've had to move out of a house or move out of a, like a home that you created with a partner or with your family, and you're moving out and creating a new foundation for yourself. This is just for you. This is a time for you to sort of heal and have that independence, have that freedom. You might be moving jobs. You're creating a new foundation for your financial security and stability. So you're moving careers, you're moving companies or something like that. You're starting a new foundation with a new company. Maybe some of you are even going into business for yourself. Some of you may be just leaving your family home and starting a new foundation, creating a new beginning for yourself, just, being out on your own for the first time. But there's something around, you're going to be creating a brand new foundation for yourself. And then with the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like there's going to be a bit of time where you may be finding that balance and juggling something in terms of like your self-care is what I'm getting, like juggling yourself. So maybe some of you, possibly for the relationship example, if you resonated with that, if you've just gone through the ending of a relationship, whether it was a marriage or just you were cohabiting or a long-term partnership or something like that, or even someone you were dating, you may have ended up in possibly a little bit of a like anxious attachment or losing yourself, or possibly even codependent if there was like addictions or things like that in the dynamic, or something where if you would just spend like the majority of your time trying to defend yourself, right? Like you were just in sort of survival mode, or you were just in fully managing this relationship, or whether, if it was an example even of a job, it's like the job just took over, like all your energy went into like defending yourself at work, or like managing a whole bunch of like crazy responsibilities that were coming at you from every single angle, and you just got totally overwhelmed and burnt out, and you're now, that's ended and you're moving on, you're creating a new foundation with a new company. And within this new foundation, within this new period, this new beginning, you're much better at juggling whatever it is, whether it's the job, the relationship, the other thing, and yourself. It's like you're not letting yourself get lost. You're not sort of having to shrink back and kind of shield yourself and defend yourself all the time. It's like you're balancing that out. You're balancing that dynamic out. You're reclaiming yourself, I'm saying, so that you're not putting yourself at the bottom. It's interesting here with this Two of Pentacles, the way that it's juggling. It's like one is up here and one is down here. It's like you're recalibrating so that your self-care is the most important thing. You're putting yourself first is what I'm seeing. You're putting your own self first. You're creating a foundation for this new self that you've had to kind of like pull up from like being at rock bottom is what I'm hearing. So yeah, certainly some of you might have gone through quite a painful ending quite recently. Let's have a look at I'm just going to shift these up a bit, and let's have a look at the oracle cards to see what the outcome is going to be of this situation, or of this trajectory that you're in at the moment, this path. So first up we have, yes, this is amazing. I just pulled these cards. I don't look at them, so I love that this is correlating with what I was just saying about self-love. We've got Freya, Lady of Love and War, and self-love, and this card in this deck is all about her having to learn how to not lose herself in relationships and in union, like having to learn how to reclaim herself, to make sure she's fully taking care of herself, that she's loving herself first, and then having the energy then to both look after herself, so self-love, and then be in relationship with another, or then be in a relationship with a company in terms of like her work or whatever it is. It's like, making sure that self-love is that foundation. We spoke about foundations here, that self-love is number one, that it's the first thing that she's taking care of. So I feel like the outcome that's assured for you is that if you continue on this path towards your freedom, You know, it's interesting, this card, we've got this person's pointing towards this new foundation for this one person over here. So if you get out of this I want to say kind of toxic situation that you may have been in, and I don't mean that in terms of like you were toxic, I mean that in terms of the dynamic, or the other person, or the energy was somehow toxic. And if you're able to continue on this path of going towards creating a strong foundation for yourself and loving yourself, that is the outcome that's going to be assured. You're going to be able to reclaim yourself. You're going to be able to reclaim your freedom. I see here on this card as well, there's like an eagle, and she's also got these like eagle wings from her head. So again, with the wings, it's, you know, symbolic of flight, having that freedom to be able to move. So going in any direction you please, choosing where you want to live, choosing where you want to be. Maybe some of you are going to go and live somewhere that's like near mountains or something, or somewhere like, it could be even somewhere Scandinavian or something like that, or you may be from there. But I see that with the eagle, eagles are symbolic of strength. You know, it's all about finding that inner strength, finding that, yeah, it's like, you know, you're going to be so much stronger. That's the outcome that's assured if you keep going in this direction. You're going to be putting yourself first. You're going to have so much more personal power, so much more personal sovereignty, so much more strength. Next, we have composting. Decomposing energetic cords. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like what's highlighted here for some of you, particularly those of you that may have been in either a marriage or a romantic entanglement, is what I'm hearing, which is an interesting phrasing. So maybe some of you weren't even so much in a relationship, but you were just in some sort of trauma bond, or some sort of a connection or something. Yeah, there might have been some kind of romantic or sexual bonding or something like that. But particularly if it was that type of connection, as opposed to like the workplace example, decomposing energetic cords is really highlighted in terms of doing some sort of energy work, like cord cutting, for example, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, even just Ho'oponopono is another ritual that I'm hearing, which is like, I believe, a Hawaiian ritual, which I can't remember the exact phrasing. I've done it before years ago, but it's something like, I love you, thank you, I forgive you, something else I forget, but you can look it up online. So that might be helpful for some of you if that person maybe did something to you, or there was some kind of negativity or toxicity that was thrown your way, something where you had to defend yourself against someone. So yeah, a process of kind of, you know, allowing yourself to go through that decomposition process, allowing yourself to go through that ending, healing those old attachments, healing, you know, that energy, letting it go, maybe doing like grounding rituals or something. You could even like write a letter to them and then bury it or burn it or something like that, something with the earth. There's another thing that just came to me, something to do with the cords. If you're not into cord cutting, I think there are other, you can have a look on YouTube. There's various meditations and energy work type things that are similar to cord cutting, but aren't maybe as dramatic as cord cutting. Like they might be just, you know, sort of a meditation to find closure, for example. I'm feeling like maybe for some of you, you had to walk away from something because this person wasn't able to give you the closure that you needed or something, or they weren't able to ever really like take on the responsibility of being in a proper connection. And so you've had to kind of like just walk off and kind of find closure within, because you never kind of got it from that person. So maybe some kind of like healing or meditation around creating closure could be helpful, but some sort of process around sort of closing this out and letting go of any cords or energy that you may be holding on to, letting go of any resentment that you may be holding on to, or any pain. And of course, this is cyclical. This is not saying like, oh, just, you know, do a little ritual or do one meditation and then you'll be fine. Like, no, especially if this was a marriage or something very significant, like a significant long-term contract, or, you know, even if you were in, you know, a job or something that you were really sort of married to in a way, like you really put in every effort and it was really taxing or something. There may be some some energy work to do around letting go of that, especially if you had a really toxic connection to a boss or something like that, or someone who was like trying to take your energy, like some kind of, I'm getting like a vibe of an energy vampire. So doing sort of like clearing rituals and like, making sure your energy field, your aura is clear, and that, you're not having anyone kind of take your energy is really important. But yeah, there just may be a little bit of a process in order to like really reclaim your freedom fully, like not just in terms of like the 3D and like, like, oh, okay, it's fine. I'm free now. I've left that house, or, I've left that partner. Like we broke up. So like now I'm free. It's like, yes, you are. And that's a huge step. And that's a huge part of that ending. But a huge part of the new beginning for you is to making sure also that you don't have any energetic ties to that person or that place. Making sure that you've fully decomposed, you've done that work of like decomposing that, because any ties you still have, and I realize this may be more difficult for some of you, like for example, if you have a partner but you still have children with them, that may be a little bit trickier. But as much as you can, doing some kind of work to cut those cords. Again, I'm picking up as well a vibe that someone might have been in a toxic friendship where this person may be a bit of an energy vampire and you've actually left the friendship, but they're still trying to kind of get energy from you. So, it'll be different for all of you. You'll know when you tune in, you'll sense maybe who this is and who this is talking about, and who you may need to do some sort of like I say, whether it's cord cutting, if you feel comfortable doing that, or just some sort of energetic process, a process of forgiveness or something along those lines in order to fully, fully, fully find your freedom. Next, we have taking risk. Oh my gosh, I love this. We've got another eagle here. So a lot of eagle imagery here with these two cards. And we had the wings on the back of this woman and the freedom card. This eagle just looks so free. So I feel like this is the outcome that is assured for you, that you've had to take the risk to fly. You've had to take the risk to find freedom for yourself, to end this thing, to leave, to move off, to create a new foundation for yourself. And I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying this risk is going to pay off. Like the outcome that is assured is that you are going to have so much more freedom. You're going to have so much more self-love. You're going to be creating this beautiful new foundation for yourself. You're going to be rising high, because eagles fly really high up, right? And they have that like bird's eye perspective on like everything going on in the land, and they have like the best pickings of like anything, any bird, right? Like they're so strong. They can like fly down and just like grab like I don't know, whatever it is, like a rabbit or something. Like they have the most, they have the best choice in life. So I feel like what's coming through is that like by ending this situation, creating this freedom for yourself, taking that risk to leave or to move on or to create this new foundation, it's like you're going to give yourself that higher ground. It's like you're creating a new foundation above ground, like above and beyond what you would have had before if you'd stayed in that situation. Like you're going to have the cherry pickings of life kind of thing. You're going to be able to like really spread your wings and just like go for life, like go in the direction that you want. Wow, I love that for you. That is so powerful. I'm picking up such a strong, powerful energy from you, pile number one. So I feel like for many of you, you've gone through something quite difficult, but it was in order for you to kind of like reclaim that power, reclaim that strength, reclaim that sovereignty, reclaim that personal freedom, so that you can have a really powerful life. And finally, we have, oh, wow, beautiful preservation. I love the artwork on this card. This is incredible with this little baby here. Yeah, I feel like the outcome that is assured, that is if you leave this situation and stay away from whatever this is, whether it's a person, a job, whatever that toxicity was, like it's going to preserve you. It's like, this is like kind of death and rebirth energy. It's like you've been held in this cocoon and carried out of that situation in order to preserve yourself. And if you keep going on this trajectory, the outcome that is assured is that you will be preserved, like your life will be preserved. So maybe some of you literally like you know, this was quite significantly abusive in some way. I'm so, so sorry if that's something you've been through. And if literally, I really hope it wasn't this, that your life was under threat, literally. But I feel like for many of you, this is more like energetically, like in the sense that maybe whatever that toxic situation was, it was kind of sucking the life out of you, is what I'm getting. Like it was like, energetically draining you, like really, really energetically draining you. Like this person or this thing was very, very like an energy vampire is what I'm getting, or like just really toxic, really negative. The energy just brought you down. It just like, you know, you had to defend yourself so much is what I'm saying. And like, no one should have to live like that. Like you shouldn't have to live your life defending yourself all day long, you know. You should be able to be free to be yourself, to be your authentic self. So, you know, the path that's assured is by you sort of flying free and taking care of yourself and creating this new foundation for yourself. This is going to allow your preservation. It's like you're being protected, you're going to be preserved. It's like even if everything else around you had to end, like even though there was all this like kind of death and decay, whatever it was that went on, it's like you're still alive. Like you're still here, you're still on the earth, you're still alive, you're still going strong, your soul is still here no matter what happened to you. Pile number one. And I really, really hope it wasn't abuse, but you know, whatever it was that you've been through, something significant, I feel like, you know, it was in order for you to really learn how to preserve yourself and to know that like no matter what has happened, like you are not that was their stuff, and that like your soul is impermeable. Like, you know, they might have tried to tell you things, or they might have tried to do whatever, but like your soul is not tainted by any of that. Like your soul is still beautiful, you're still here, like you still are like love and light, like no matter what has happened in your like 3D world kind of thing, you're still going strong is what I feel like. So part number one, I feel like that is all the messages I have for you today. I hope that resonated for you. Leave a comment below if you feel comfortable, but never, you know, you don't have to share if you don't. You can certainly like the video. That helps support my channel so much, and I so appreciate each and every one of you who has been doing that. If you're not already subscribed to my channel and you like my readings, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so, so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Okay, all my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number two. If you chose the beautiful Butterfly Maiden with openness and renewal, this will be your reading on if you continue on the current path, what outcome is assured for you. So we're going to start off with some tarot cards to see the current path, the current trajectory that you're on, and then we'll have a look at the oracle cards afterwards to see what sort of outcome is likely based on that. So let's have a look. So right off, we have got Four of Swords with Amber. This is the Crystal Magic deck, so there are certain crystals associated with each card. So we've got Amber. We have got Knight of Swords with Copper. We have got the Hermit, Blue Chalcedony. We've got Seven of Coins, Sulfur. And finally, we have got beautiful, the Empress with Chrysocolla. So let me just move these over a little bit so they're all in the shot. There we go. So pile number two. What I'm getting for you is that with the Butterfly Maiden here and openness and renewal, I feel like for many of you, you have been in a period recently of being in a bit of a cocoon, but you're now just in this stage of kind of like breaking out of the cocoon. You can see this woman's face is kind of breaking out here with all these like butterflies surrounding her. So I feel like this is kind of you coming into your like Butterfly Maiden stage. Like you were maybe originally, perhaps years ago, you were kind of in that caterpillar stage, you know, perhaps in terms of your awakening or just in your life, like things were quite slow, things were quite stagnant, things were quite stuck. you were quite frustrated with where things were going, and then you've gone into a beautiful chrysalis in order to go through some healing, in order to go through some transformation, in order to go through shedding of old skin, and then you're now just at that beautiful point of breaking out of that into this like butterfly maiden, essentially into this like beautiful butterfly. That's why we've got openness, renewal. You're going through a period of coming out into the open, of like spreading your wings, of showing your sort of real butterfly self. So maybe some of you have certainly been through a bit of a spiritual awakening recently. You've been in a bit of a hermit mode and a bit of a sort of healing stage, because Four of Swords can speak of healing. You can see this person sitting in like lotus pose. We've got lotus up here as well, and she's meditating here. So Four of Swords can sometimes speak of being like sort of kept away, like held back, like sort of pulled away from the crowd, or pulled away from anything else that might cause pain or might cause like, triggers or, disruption or turmoil or something, in order to just have some time out, some space, some like necessary time to heal, to cocoon, to go within, and really transform, really work through any kind of darkness. With the Knight of Swords here, this healing may have been as a result of this person, because with the Knight cards, this is a court card, so this could symbolize another person in your life. So you may have had someone who, it may have been a male figure, but it doesn't have to be. But it could have been someone who was a little bit dark here, with this sort of, he's got this like shading across his eyes, like a mask kind of thing across his eyes. So maybe there was someone who was a little bit deceptive or something in your life. It doesn't have to be. That may just be for one or two of you. But for others of you, this could just be a period of time where you've been cocooning in order for you to get really clear, because swords can be talking about, finding clarity, finding that, like being more decisive about something, like being able to make a decision and go forth with it, to actually take action on it. So this breaking out is going to you're going to be able to start taking action on everything that you have received intuitively whilst you were in that kind of hermit mode, or in that like chrysalis mode. With this hermit card, I love with this particular card, this woman's dancing, and you can see she's got her hand up to her ear, like she's listening to her intuition. Her other arm is up here pointing towards this eye, which is like symbolic of the third eye, right? So it's like intuitive wisdom, intuitive downloads, like listening to your inner self. So there may have been a period through this sort of awakening cycle, through this this recent sort of stage that you've been in, where you've had to really like listen to yourself and get really clear on what your intuition is telling you, and balancing that out with what maybe your logical mind is telling you. I feel like with this Knight of Swords, this could be sort of an energy from within you, where it's not so much coming from someone else, but there's been a lot of like, perhaps like mental, because swords can speak of like sort of, mental processes, mental health, ideas, the mind, how the mind is working. So there may have been like some negative self-talk or self-beliefs that have been standing in your way, like things that have just, sort of like cognitive, what I'm hearing is like cognitive distortion. So and hence why the blindfold is there. It's like something's been covering your eyes to so that you haven't really been able to fully see yourself or fully hear yourself in some way. So that's what this part of this healing has been about, or part of this chrysalis process or this awakening has been about, like letting go of these negative beliefs that like your mind has been trying to tell you, like negative thought forms, or just like negative ideas about yourself that you've picked up from somewhere, and like clear that out, clear out that distortion, clear out that like where you've been blindfolded, and like really start to truly listen to your own intuition. That hermiting has been necessary so that you can be taken away from like getting information perhaps from, you know, like the crowd or from media or from other people, and like getting really clear on like what your inner voice is telling you, what your truth is. We've got a lot of blue in this particular Hermit card, and blue is linked with the throat chakra, which is all about self-expression, being the authentic self, expressing your truth, getting really clear on what your truth is, feeling comfortable speaking up for yourself, feeling comfortable speaking up for your needs. You know, so I feel like there's been this purifying as a result of this sort of chrysalis stage. There's been this healing and this purifying. We've got the color white here. This could also be symbolizing with the white, the crown chakra, as well as the third eye chakra. So not only being able to like hear your intuition, but really being able to connect with like, you know, the spiritual realm, connect with your higher self, with the goddesses, with ascended masters, with angels, whatever it is that you want to or believe in, be able to pull wisdom down from that realm, because you're this sort of clear source to be able to hear that for yourself. With the Seven of Coins here, I feel like you're moving towards a new path here, a golden path. It's like you can see there's two paths here. One is, in fact, there's three. One is kind of cloudy, one is golden, and then we've got this one here with lines on it underneath. So I feel like maybe before there might have been some different feeling pulled in different directions possibly, or not being able to see clearly, again with the kind of the blindfold, and then not being able to know or not being able to really see clearly exactly what path is best for you or what you're meant to really do. Perhaps some of you have had some confusion around your sense of purpose or something. But I feel like now, after this sort of chrysalis phase, after this like healing phase that you've been going through, after breaking out, renewing yourself from being in this hermit phase, you're going to be able to start taking action towards this new path. And I feel like it's like the Seven of Pentacles can be a bit of a sort of waiting energy, a bit of a like, okay, well, I've planted some seeds. Now I just need to kind of wait and see how they're going to grow. In the regular Rider-Waite tarot, it shows like a man standing beside a bush, and he's just kind of leaning on his like shovel or whatever, and he's looking at the bush being like, in this sort of, it's almost a slightly impatient energy, like, is this gonna grow? Like, this stuff that I planted, like, is it growing? Like, is it ready? Is it blossoming yet? And I feel like that's the stage you're in. You've just come out of that, you've broken out of your chrysalis, and your wings are just about to open up, and you're kind of like, is this gonna work? Like, where am I going now? Like, am I really gonna kind of be able to do this purpose or this calling or this path or whatever it is I'm feeling pulled towards, this new intuitive way of living? Like, is this really gonna work? Like, can I really take those steps? And I feel like you can. This is kind of confirming, like, your new path is to follow your intuition. Like, you know, it's like that, follow the yellow brick road, but like the yellow brick road is your intuition. Like, follow your intuition, and that will lead you to like your gold and your abundance and everything that you're looking for. And I feel like that message is sort of confirmed here really with the Empress, because the Empress is all about being in feminine energy, right? It's all about being in that receptive energy. It's all about being in that energy of like, you know, you don't need to kind of go out there and like chase for things or make things happen or take loads of action or whatever. It's like you're just the Empress. You just are, you know, look at this beautiful plant. It's just like growing. Like, you know, you receive the sun, you receive the water from the environment, and then you just like blossom. You just grow in your own time. You grow when you're ready, which is kind of a similar energy to the Seven of Pentacles or the Seven of Coins here, where it's like, you know, nature takes its time. Like, you know, there's a certain part of like, you plant some seeds, and then, you know, they need watering, they need sun, they need energy, and then over time, yes, it will start to grow. Yes, there will be abundance. Yes, you'll start to see things blossom. And I feel like this is the Empress energy you're stepping into, where you're going to be just like fully blossoming, fully like in this sort of feminine energy, where you're able to like really reign over your world is what I'm seeing with this world, this globe at the top. You're going to have so much more. You're going to have so much more like personal power, but also with all the green, this is linked with the heart chakra. So it's like you're going to be guiding your life, or like living your life feeling so much more love for yourself and love for life is what I'm getting. Oh, it's such a lovely energy. It's like a really beautiful, like you just really enjoy your life, you enjoy what you're doing, you enjoy yourself, you love your friends. It's just like really beautiful energy is what I'm getting here. And with the fish, I feel like I'm picking up kind of Pisces energy. So some of you may be Pisces, or you may just be very creative. So this new period, yeah, for some of you, this phase may be about like, this kind of renewal phase may be about like tapping into your creativity a lot more, doing something quite creative. Maybe even, and maybe that's something that you get money for down the line or something, or you may even be receiving a bit of money for it now, but that's going to expand. But yeah, I'm definitely picking up a beautiful creative energy, so that may certainly be highlighted. But let's have a look at the oracle cards to get a little bit more of the message of what kind of outcome is going to come from this, like renewal and like opening up your beautiful butterfly wings. So we've got moon shroom. Oh my goodness, healing old brain patterns. Yeah, so I pull these cards and I didn't look at them. So this is amazing what I was saying. This goes with what I was saying about the Knight of Swords with the brain. Yeah, the blindfold and like the things that your brain may have been telling you, like negative self-talk or self-beliefs, or just like patterns, or yeah, brain patterns. Exactly. I just feel like there's been some kind of groove that you've gotten stuck in, of like, yeah, feeling kind of closing yourself in, like hermiting yourself, keeping yourself back from things, holding yourself back, like not letting yourself go towards new opportunities. Yes, this is making a bit more sense now with this Seven of Coins. It's like there's this golden road here with all these like kind of opportunities to do things, and this little person here is kind of along this track, and this woman here is sort of standing to the side looking at it like, I don't know, should I go down that path? I'm not really sure. So maybe for some of you, some of the patterns have been being a bit fearful of going after opportunities or taking up opportunities, or feeling like, I'm hearing kind of social anxiety, or just generalized anxiety. Like maybe some of you have like anxiety disorder or something, and I'm so sorry if that's something you're going through. Maybe some kind of therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy type thing may be useful for some of you, because this is sort of highlighting that doing some sort of healing around your brain patterns might be useful. So possibly getting some kind of counseling, or doing some kind of therapeutic thing specifically for like patterns that you're starting to notice, like your brain is kind of telling you certain things that are like not really true about certain situations, like, oh, like don't go for that, like everyone will hate you, or like don't try for that opportunity, don't be seen, like don't put your voice out there, because don't put your creativity out there, because like everyone's going to hate it, or everyone's going to hate you, or like you're going to get criticized, or like you're like kind of, or like something terrible will happen kind of thing. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is like a kind of very negative, it's kind of beyond skeptical though. It's like really, really kind of something that's kind of really holding you back. It's like you're not really sort of seeing your potential, or like your own truth, or like your own worthiness of having things, or like something like that. And so there's some kind of sort of purifying around, some sort of clearing and cleaning and healing brain patterns. Maybe also for some of you, something like subliminals could be really helpful. I've talked about this in some of my other videos. So like for those of you that aren't aware of what they are, they just like play. You've got to be careful about which subliminals you use. There's kind of a lot on YouTube, so find one where you know what the affirmations are, but basically it plays affirmations at a low volume so you can't hear them, and there's music playing over the top, so all you can hear is like music or rain sounds or something, and underneath it plays these affirmations, and it kind of reprograms your brain. So something like that could be quite helpful for you, or like nighttime, meditations or affirmations that play on a loop, like all throughout the night, that like program in new thoughts of like, self-love or self-belief or like confidence, self-esteem, things like that. Because actually I'm just seeing now with the 7 of coins, this is all yellow, which is linked to a solar plexus chakra, which is all about self-confidence, self-esteem, like self-worth, owning your power, that kind of thing. So there may be some hesitance towards that, but I feel like in this new phase, you're opening up to this a lot more, and you're opening up to healing this pattern, these old patterns a lot more, where you haven't really seen your worth, or haven't really like allowed yourself to open up, or allowed yourself to get out in the world and take up opportunities, take up space, things like that. So I really feel like that is something that you're healing. Some of you may well be already doing that, so that's great. This is confirmation that like if you're on that path, if you're already doing that, the outcome that's assured is you're going to be this like wonderful in this wonderful Empress energy, where you will be able to receive all good things. So any kind of work you have been doing already, any kind of therapy or counseling or brain reprogramming or doing affirmations, things like that, if you've been taking responsibility for your healing, this is going to stand you in really good stead to receive all the things that you are fully deserving of. Like, I feel like this Knight of Swords here, he looks really kind of grumpy. He's got this like dark thing across his eyes, and he's like got this stabby sword, and it's like there's this like negative dragon perhaps that's been in you before. Whether this was another person, I really hope it wasn't. But even, sometimes our own dragons, right? Our own inner self-talk can be the most negative. It can be worse than even anything anyone else would ever say. And like, that's been like, no, stay down, keep shut, keep like, keep quiet, keep sitting, like stay low, like don't speak up. Like I'm going to like, kind of like really sort of pushing you down, or kind of keeping you stuck, keeping you in place. So I feel like you're really breaking out of that, and you're getting better at listening to like your higher self over that like negative talk, or over this like whatever this brain pattern is. Next we have Branwen of the Star Ostara with a new beginning. Oh my gosh, I love this energy for you. This is so beautiful. Yeah, this is new beginning. Exactly. It's like we've got this openness and renewal. So it's very spring-like energy. You're going through a phase of renewal at the moment. You've been healing a lot. You've been in a sort of hermit mode, in a chrysalis mode, and you're now going through this renewal phase where you're kind of coming out, a bit like how spring, is the new season. It kind of brings everything back to life after winter. So you're just, you're going to be so, like, I just feel like so many new opportunities are going to come to you. Like, you're just going to be surrounded with like all these beautiful new things. I really feel like you're really taking care of your self-care as well. The way this woman's sitting here with she's kind of holding a little bird. So I really feel like you're kind of, putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, listening to your intuition. Birds can be symbolic of messages from spirit as well. So I feel like, this is like a new phase where you're going to be so much more like, listening to the whispers of spirit, listening to the whispers of your higher self, instead of this like mean kind of night energy that's been like putting you down in the past. It's like you've got this whole new start that's like so much healthier. It's just this whole new phase is what I'm getting. So then we have protection. Wow, beautiful. I feel like this is like this new phase, you're being very protected against like any negativity, whether that's coming from within or whether that was coming from another person or a situation. It's like you are very protected. Your path is very protected as well. Like your purpose, like whatever you're being called to go towards, is very protected. Your higher self is protecting you. Like you've got this connection with, your guides, with your angels, with ascended masters, whatever it is, with an ancestor maybe as well for some of you. And you're very, very protected by them. So whatever you've been fearing, or whatever your anxiety or your fears have been telling you, whatever these old brain patterns have been telling you, it's like, that's not who you really are. Those thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. You are not those brain patterns. Like, you are protected from those negative things now. Like, you're going through this new phase where you are guided very strongly by your intuition instead of by whatever this was, these negative patterns. And lastly, we have center. Wow, I love the artwork on this card. This feels very like sort of spring, summery energy. We've got this beautiful flower that's opening up. There's a lot of like nature here with the Brandwin card. She's sitting outside with, like a willow tree and all these like animals and things. And then we've got a tree here as well. And then we've got this beautiful flower in this card. So nature could be really important for you to help you to center, to help you to connect with your inner self and connect with your higher self as well. And like kind of clear out some of this like old thinking patterns or old beliefs or like invasive thoughts or anything like that. Being able to doing anything that you can do to help you find your center, to help you recenter. So whether that's like getting out in nature, whether that's yoga, doing like I said, those kind of affirmations, like ones that may have to play overnight or something to help kind of reprogram your brain, whatever it might be, that this is the phase that you are going through. This is the outcome that is assured, that healing these patterns, letting go, healing those negative thoughts, negative beliefs, things that have been holding you back. It's going to help you find your center, find your alignment. I feel like you're going to be so much more aligned with your higher self and with the path that you're meant to go down. And with that Empress energy, it's like you're going to receive, everything that you are worthy of, everything that you've wanted to receive is going to come to you. So that is all the messages that I have for you, pile number 2. I feel like I feel like that's all the messages I have today. So I hope that resonated for you. Feel free to leave a comment below if you did. It helps me know which content is resonating, if you feel comfortable to. And if you enjoyed this reading, hit the like button. It just also helps tell me what content is you are enjoying at the moment. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already, and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. All the best with your journey, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose the Isis card with unions and sacred relationships, this will be your reading on what outcome is assured if you continue on this current path. So we're going to start off looking at your current sort of trajectory of where things are going, or what sort of stage you're in at the moment with the tarot, and then we're going to have a look at some oracle cards for what sort of outcome is likely. So to begin, we have 9 of Swords. We've got Queen of Wands. We've got Page of Pentacles. We've got 8 of Pentacles. And finally 2 of Swords. Okay, hopefully you can see all of these all right. Yes, okay. So, pile number 3. I feel like with this unions and sacred relationships here, I feel like this is something that you have maybe been trying to manifest, possibly with a particular person or just generally speaking, and it's bringing you a lot of anxiety, a lot of maybe sleepless nights or just fears, worries. I'm hearing like, will I always be alone forever? Is this always going to be how it's going to be? When is this person going to come back? So for some of you, this may well be about a specific person. You might have gone through a breakup a little while ago or something. Or you're just you've been maybe even been single for a long time or something. And you're not so happy about that. I feel like with all these kind of like journals and letters and things on the ground, there's been some like yearning for a particular person or yearning for the way something was. Maybe this is like, sort of hampering after like an ex or something, like an old relationship or something where or like, even it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship, or a loss of someone. You might have grieved, the death of someone or something, and there's just like, a lot of like sad energy, like looking at the past, looking at the way things were, being quite nostalgic. That's not necessarily the traditional meaning of this card, but I read intuitively and I channel. So this is specifically the message I'm getting from this particular Nine of Swords, because she's just looking very sad. She's looking down at a lot of letters. So in this particular deck, this particular Nine of Swords is very indicative of someone who's like sort of leafing through like old diaries and getting this like, oh, this is like, I remember when my love, like, sort of wrote me these love letters, or they did this or they did that, and like now they're gone. And and I'm so sorry if this was like well, I'm so sorry if it was either a death or, a loss, because sometimes a loss of a relationship can feel like a death, right? Like, if you've had a very strong union with someone, if you've had a really strong bond or bind with someone, a soul connection with someone, it can feel very, very upsetting and sad, when you lose them or when you break up or something like that. But I do feel like with this Nine of Swords that there's a new beginning that's highlighted here for you. There's a new dawn. This little bird is over on the window. I hope the camera's focusing okay. You can see this all right, but he's over on the window and he's like, look, don't look at the old. Look over here. There's a new dawn. There's a new beginning coming. I feel like maybe there is a new person or a new union, a new sacred relationship. Maybe this is a soulmate or something that's coming in. Or if it is the same person, it's like coming in a new way. Like there's a new beginning with this connection with this person that you might have, lost in the past or something. For many of you, I feel like this is a new person though. Or a new situation, for some of you, if it's not like a relationship, this could be just feeling upset or sad over something in the past, feeling like something's ended, and this little bird, which is a messenger from spirit or a messenger from your guides, is saying like, look over here, like don't look back at this, like look at this new beginning. It's a new day, like the night has passed. Let go of the night. There's a new beginning that's coming for you. I feel like with the Queen of Wands here, this new beginning is going to be very passionate. It's going to be possibly very romantic as well, with the flowers. She's holding these beautiful flowers here. She's like kind of held by this kind of dragon, and the dragon is orange, which is linked with the sacral chakra, which is all about like passion and sexual attraction and chemistry, and like feeling that like a fiery energy. So this could also be indicative of a fire sign. Like it could be a new person, a new soulmate who is a fire sign, but I feel like this is more of an energy that's waking up in you, or more of an energy that's in your connection in this union. If that's something that you are wanting, if that's something that you are indeed yearning for, or been anxious about, or been worried about whether it's coming in, it's like, yep, you are going to have this passion, you are going to have this fire, you are going to have this zest for life, and like I said, if this isn't a relationship thing, if this isn't something you're specifically wanting a relationship, you're just wanting a new beginning, then this new beginning is going to be very creative. It's going to be very like passionate. You're going to love your life again. You're going to feel fired up. You're not going to be looking back at the past so much anymore, looking back, feeling nostalgic or feeling sad about things that have lost, or that you've lost, or anxious about the past, or anxious about your life, maybe comparing yourself with others, or comparing things now with what you had before. It's like you're going to be so much more passionate about things. You're going to feel so much more fired up, is what I'm sensing here. With this Page of Pentacles, this could be someone coming in. This could be a message or something coming in from a person. So this other person, this soulmate or something, this could be them with this Page of Pentacles. They could be, being a page, they could be a bit younger than you. but because it's the Pentacles energy, this is a solid offer. I feel like this is your guide's way of saying, or Isis's way of saying, like, this union, this sacred relationship, this soulmate that you're yearning for, that you've been worried about whether they're coming in. It's like, don't worry, this is Pentacles energy. This is solid energy. This offer, or this person, or this new relationship or connection, or new friendship or companionship, or whatever it is you're looking for, this is going to show up on the 3D. Like, it's going to be an actual tangible offer. It's going to be someone who comes through, you know, with a solid offer, with a solid with like a solid energy kind of thing. It might be a little bit slow moving here, because with this particular Page of Pentacles, like, he's just on foot, you know, he's just walking. So this person could be possibly from like humble origins or something, or they could love walking, or they could, you know, do a lot of hiking or something like that. Or this offer or energy may take a little bit of time to come through. It may take a little bit of time on the physical to kind of show up, because I feel like maybe Spirit's only just like given them the map of where to come to you or something. So I do feel like this is someone you don't know. Like, maybe you've been worrying about a particular person, like you've sort of had your ideas of a specific person, but this new beginning that's coming in, this little birdie is like, no, but look, there's this new horizon, this new sorry, not horizon, this new sunrise, there's this new day, this new dawn, this new potential person coming in. And I feel like they're quite happy-go-lucky. They like I said, they might like traveling or something, or walking. They might be from another town as well, because this card has got like a town here that this person's coming from, and then it's like he's at a crossroads and he's trying to work out where to go. So it may be that like this is long distance, or you have to travel to see each other, or you're from different places or something, and it's kind of like your person's only just been given the map to like kind of get to you. So like there's this energy of like they're still on their way is what I'm getting. It's like, don't despair, don't worry, don't stress or think that everything is over or this is never going to happen. It's like this person is coming, they're on their way, but they're on foot, so it might just take a little bit of time. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. With the Eight of Pentacles, here, I feel like this is kind of saying, like, what I'm channeling here, what I'm getting through is for you in the meantime to keep yourself busy, keep yourself occupied whilst this person is figuring out on the map where they're meant to be going, and trying to like, you know, be guided towards you, like be navigated towards you, make their way towards you. Keep yourself busy, keep yourself doing your work, focus on your work, focus on other things, focus on, you know, continuing to like master your craft, to like do what it is that you're working on. You know, if you've been having ideas to do a certain creative project or something, with that Queen of Wands, for some of you this might be, you know, this new beginning that's coming in towards you being much more passionate, much more like fired up, much more like connected with your creativity. And the Eight of Pentacles is like mastering that craft, like it's putting the work in, it's putting the hours in, it's doing the things that need to get done in order to become like a master at what you're doing. So keeping really busy is going to be really important, whether it's a new beginning that you're wanting just for yourself because you've just been going through a difficult time, an anxious time, or whether it's like a union or a sacred relationship that you're wanting to call in. The sooner you can take your energy off being in that kind of waiting energy and in that anxious energy and like feeling like sort of down on yourself or like disappointed, like, oh, it's never going to happen, or I'm never going to meet anyone or something, like and I'm not saying this to like you know, I'm not saying this as like a criticism or like, oh, come on, part 3, like, you know, don't feel like that, like that's ridiculous, like you should just be happy. Like, I get it, you know, I went through that. I was single for many years, and I've talked about this in another video. But yeah, I didn't meet my soulmate until, or have my kind of soulmate union, if you like. I had other relationships before, but I then went through a phase of being single for a few years and feeling a bit like this. I definitely have moments of feeling like this. So I definitely understand this feeling. I felt pretty down because I felt like I was getting older. I was in my late 30s and I was like, where is he? Like, why? Like, I've not met anyone and blah, 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 you know, all that kind of stuff. So I get it. And, but I will tell you that I did. I also did this energy actually. So it's interesting because I felt compelled to talk about my situation, which I feel quite vulnerable doing, but I'm going to tell you because I feel like Pile 3, if like this helps you find some hope, I want you to feel that, because I did focus on my work, and when I took my focus off that sort of lack mindset or being like, where are they, why haven't they shown up, or why can't I find a good person, or where is my soulmate, or blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. As soon as I kind of put my focus on my work and on like mastering my craft and learning, you know, learning more about business and about tarot and all this kind of stuff, then my soulmate showed up, and now we've been in a relationship for 2 years. So like, you know, it really does, it really does work. It really does make a difference, like shifting your energy towards like, you know, being passionate about your life, staying focused on yourself, staying focused on your work, not sort of worrying like where they are, not feeling super anxious, like it's never going to happen. Like it will come. It's just going to maybe take a little bit of time. That's all. With the Two of Swords here, I feel like, okay, what I'm getting from this is with this she's like playing darts, right, with swords into a board, and it's like this, if you can focus on yourself, bullseye, like you're going to get what you want. You're going to get exactly what you want. You know, wherever you, it's like energy, what is that phrase? Is it energy grows? Yeah, energy grows where attention goes. So like where you're putting your attention is what you're going to receive back. So if you're putting your attention on feeling down, on the past, on worrying about an ex, or worrying about a specific person, or thinking like no one's going to come for you, or like you're never going to have a sacred relationship or a soulmate, or whatever it is that you're worrying about, like you're going to keep perpetuating cycles of, it's like you're going to slow this down even further. It's like, it's not like it's not like you can miss something that's meant for you, but it's just going to take even longer. It's just because your vibration, your energy is like not looking to this new dawn. It's looking at what you've lost. It's looking at what you can't have. So you're going to keep attracting and seeing things show up on the outside that are like affirming that belief, right? Whereas if you believe like, hey, I'm worthy of all good things, like I'm this Queen of Wands, I'm this fabulous, sexy, attractive woman who gets everything she wants and like has this passionate life and like lives life to the fullest, I deserve all good things, and like I'm going to continue, you know, working on my stuff, focusing on myself, focusing on my work, focusing on other things, then bullseye, that's going to be what is going to come in for you. That's what you're going to see reflected on the outside, what you're feeling from within. So let's have a look at the oracle cards to see what is what outcome is assured if you can like shift your energy towards this, away from this sort of Nine of Swords stressed and worried energy, and towards this energy of like being focused on yourself, like finding that passion for life again, and all of that, and see what is going to happen. Rainbow boundary, protecting your true self. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like what I'm getting from this is like, if for those of you that have been sort of worrying about or like sad about kind of an ex partner or something, I feel like the reason that ended, or the reason that that person hasn't come back or something, is because like you've been put in a bubble of protection. Like there's a reason that you're maybe single at the moment, or there's a reason that you're not in a relationship at the moment or with that person, and it's because it's in protection. Like it's for your highest good. It's protecting who you truly are. It's interesting, she's wearing a blue dress here, and blue is linked with the throat chakra, which is all about self-expression, expressing your truth, expressing your authenticity. And I'm just noticing she's wearing the same dress and the same pattern in this card, but as a cape, which is like kind of a lot more powerful in a way, like kind of magical, like a magical cape kind of thing. So yeah, it's like she's wearing her self expression here. She's wearing her truth. She's fully being her authentic self. So yeah, I think if there was something where you were wondering why something had to end, it was in protection, like it was protecting who you truly are. So also like being your true self is going to be the right thing to like align with the right kind of relationship. Again, it's that kind of, you know, like bullseye thing of like when you're being yourself, when you're directing your energy towards what you want to go after, like the right things will come towards you. Next we have courage. Ooh, yeah, with the Queen of Wands and courage, it's like there's the outcome that is assured is you're just going to be so much more courageous to go after what you want. I feel like to like kind of go after things that you're passionate about, to yeah, like go after the work that you want to do as well. There's something around like evolving your work or developing your work or something like that, having the courage to like take up opportunities, having the courage to follow your heart, to follow your passions. Maybe for some of you this is you as well. This Page of Pentacles could be not so much another person, but your energy of being like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna like get out in the world. I'm going to like see where I'm feeling called to go. Like maybe some of you have been at a bit of a crossroads, like maybe I shouldn't stay in this hometown anymore. I should start traveling, or like I should move somewhere. I should try a new opportunity somewhere. And it's like you're going to have the courage to do that in this new phase. Yeah, the outcome of like getting out of this sort of anxious energy and going towards this new dawn that is assured for you is like there's going to be this new phase of you being so much more courageous to be your true self, I feel like. And in doing that, you're going to align with all the right opportunities and all the right relationships, whether that's romantic ones or friendships or community or like, yeah, like colleagues even, or clients, or just all your soul family. You know, being your true self, having the courage to be your true self is going to align you with everything that you're meant to bring in. Then we have home at last, aloneness. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of saying like there's a reason you're alone at the moment. There's a necessary reason why you've had to kind of go through this period of possibly being single, of being alone, of being in your own energy. And it's so that you could like it basically comes back to this card with this rainbow boundary. Is so that you could be protected. It's so that spirit could kind of pull you away from things that weren't working or situations that weren't aligned with you, so that it could create this boundary around you, so that you could like come back into your own energy, find your true self, find your passions again, you know, go after your purpose, go after your work, have the courage to be your true self. Maybe some of you are going to be writing as well. Part of your work for some of you could be writing something, because there's all these books here, and then there's a book down here that's sort of open with like lots of notes in it. So maybe this is a necessary part of like, you know, needing to be alone in order to like finish that creative project. So some of you might have been like going through a period of, yeah, being single or being alone or something in order to like work on your passion, work on something that is a creative project that requires kind of being in a little boundary, in a little period, in a little sort of like cocoon phase of just being by yourself, being in your own energy, so that you can really like work on it and really have the like time and energy to progress in that thing. It won't necessarily be writing or a creative thing for all of you. For some of you it might be something else. It might be something like this, like, you know, learning something spiritual, like or just developing your craft, whatever that is. Developing your work, focusing on your career, focusing on your work, focusing on a creative project. It's all highlighted here. And I feel like that is the outcome that is assured if you're able to like steer your energy away from looking at what is lost and moving towards like having the courage to go after what your true self really wants and what you're passionate about. And finally, we have discernment. Interesting. Yeah, this is very interesting. We've got on this card, there's I'm just checking the camera's focusing on that. There's a heart here with an eye in the middle. And the eye is symbolic of like the third eye chakra, which is your intuition. So it's like your heart is connected with your intuition, or like your intuition is going to be able to discern what is right for your heart. So part of this period of time of being alone is in order for you to come into better discernment around like who or what is right for you. So maybe some of you might have been in a relationship in the past, in a union in the past that really left you feeling, you know, very upset or very alone or something like that. Like it just was something that it just wasn't really for your highest good, or it wasn't like you weren't able to be your true self. I don't feel like it's like you couldn't fully express yourself in it. You know, you can see in this card like the energy of this girl. She's so she's just sort of so sad, and like her posture is all curved over, like she's trying to sort of, you know, her shoulders are hunched and all of that. So, you know, whoever left you feeling like that is not for you. I'm getting oh gosh, I'm getting Sense and Sensibility. For those of you that have read the Jane Austen book, Sense and Sensibility, or seen the film with Emma Thompson. I love that film. And Marianne, the character of Marianne, and how, oh gosh, I can't remember his name. The cad that like leads her on and breaks her heart, you know, and at the beginning he sends her all those letters, right? And we spoke about someone sending you like love letters and looking at these old love letters and being like, oh, why isn't he coming back, or why isn't he coming for me? And it's that energy of like, you know, I'm getting this story of like, it's a bit like what Marianne went through, where she, you know, got her heart broken a bit. She fell for this guy who was a bit of a cad, and then he broke her heart and left her. You know, she kind of felt like emotionally she was kind of engaged to him, but then he just ran off with some other woman who had lots of money and left her brokenhearted. And, you know, and she had to go through a period of time of being alone and healing that, and then she was able to then fall in love with Colonel Brandon's character at the end. I hope I didn't just totally spoil it for those of you that haven't seen it and want to watch it. But anyway, I'm sure most of you probably know that story already. But the point is that like you've needed to go through this phase of being alone in order to become more discerning about who is right for you. And I'm also getting as well with this Two of Swords, this can be a lot to do with like trusting your intuition. Like, you know, this person's blindfolded, but they're trusting their intuition to like throw this sword and it's going to hit the bullseye. It's like, you know, this period of aloneness, this period of being kept away from this person or any kind of relationship, was so that you could develop that discernment, so that you knew like who was right for you. You intuitively knew what to go after, or who to go after, or who was right for you. It's like this process was very healing and very necessary to protect you, to allow you to find your true self again and discern what is right for that true self. So I feel like that is all the messages that I have for you today, my lovely Pal 3s. I hope that resonated for you. Please leave a comment below if it did, if you feel comfortable doing so. It helps tell me what content is resonating for you. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. It helps my channel to grow, and I so appreciate each and every one of you who has been doing that. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already, and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you today. All the best with your journey towards your soulmate, and just trust that they are definitely coming in. I promise you that. It might just take a little bit of time, and I will see you in the next reading. Okay, my loves, all my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 4. If you chose the beautiful goddess Artemis with independence and personal power, this will be your reading. So we're going to start off looking at the current trajectory or current path that you're on with the tarot cards, and then we're going to have a look at the oracle cards to see what outcome is likely. So straight off the bat, we have got the Queen of Cups. Then we have the Knight of Cups. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Two of Cups. Beautiful. Okay, so pile number 4. I feel like the current path that you are on with independence and personal power, this is all about you. Basically, it's kind of what it says on the tin. It's you cultivating a sense of independence, a life of independence, and a life of personal power and personal sovereignty. It's like you are having the courage to go after things that you want. With this Queen of Cups, it's like she's listening to her intuition here. With this shell up against her ear, it's like, ooh, what is my intuition trying to tell me? What are my emotions trying to tell me? What does my heart tell me? With the cups, this is symbolic of like emotions, of the heart, of the intuition, of the feminine side of the self. And you're becoming queen of that. So you're becoming sovereign in that. You're getting very, very good at discerning what your heart is telling you, at what direction you want to go in, what your emotions are telling you to go after, what you most want. And then with the Knight of Cups, you're then able to actually take action on that, which is so amazing and so inspiring and empowering, because like not many people do that, pile number 4. You know, a lot of people get little nudges, little niggles from their intuition. And do they go after that straight away? No, they do not. They don't take action on it straight away necessarily. They just let things sit, you know. They don't have the courage necessarily to really, or the personal power to really actually take action and go after what their intuition, what their emotions, what their heart is telling them to do. But with this Knight of Cups, like you are taking action, and pretty fast action, I might add as well. This horse looks like he's going at speed. He's splashing through this water. This person, this knight, is on the back of the horse, like holding out a cup. So it's like you're going towards what emotionally fulfills you the most. You are literally taking action towards what is going to give you the most emotional fulfillment. I feel like this is in the area of your work, because Three of Pentacles is to do with, you know, teamwork, collaboration, the workplace, doing something that receives recognition. You know, working towards your success, working towards a big project or something. So I feel like this could be in the area of your career. Maybe some of you are doing something independently. You're, you know, you might have left a corporate career or career working for other people, or doing some kind of job in order to work for yourself. Maybe be a freelancer, start your own project, be like, you know, stay at home worker or something. Be an entrepreneur, you know, set up your own company, just go in your own direction, essentially, like take action towards what brings you the most fulfillment. I feel like that's something that you've recently decided to do. Like you've recently had the intuitive moment, the light bulb moment, if you like. You've recently had this emotional intelligence kind of thing come through from your heart, being like, go in this direction, like do this work. This is what's going to bring you the most fulfillment. This is what's going to bring you the most satisfaction. And you're actually taking action on that. Like with the Artemis energy, this is all about, you know, she's the archer, so she's symbolized with the bow and arrow. So it's like, you know, she's able to kind of like point her you know, pull back her bow and point her arrow in the direction that she wants, and then she can take action on that. She can go towards what it is that she is going after. So I feel like you are going after something where you are going to be building a new future for yourself, is what I'm seeing. This may be something that actually starts to happen in the autumn, because both of these cards here, the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, have autumn leaves falling. So if you're watching this at the time of upload and you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in summer right now. So this could be something that you've kind of made the decision to do in the summer. You've started taking action on it in the summer, because we've got kind of summer energy here with the sun being full in the sky and like the beach energy. And then there's like all this autumn energy. So during autumn, you're putting things in place. You're building that website. You're building that like foundation for yourself for this new venture, for this, like, you know, being a freelancer, for like, you know, you're putting a portfolio of work together. You're putting work, you know, like a pitch together for your first client or something like that. Or you're, you know, you're assembling a team. Like maybe some of you are going to be in charge of your own company and you're assembling like some other people to help you, or you're even just assembling other suppliers to help you put something together. So maybe you're hiring a designer for your logo, for example, or a designer for your website, or for your business cards, or whatever it might be. It's like you're kind of building something. You're kind of piecing this new phase of life together, where you're going towards something that is going to be so much more fulfilling, and something that is going to bring you so much more independence. Maybe for some of you, if this isn't a career or a job, this could be like moving towards finding independence in some other way. Like, you know, you could be moving houses, and you could be like, you know, moving into a new house and you're decorating it, because there's a lot of like painting and decorating going on here. So maybe you're like moving in with friends, or you're moving in on your own, or something like that. You're striking out on your own. You're going to be so much more independent now. Or maybe some of you have left a relationship and you're moving into your own space or something like that. But there's something around this, like kind of building, kind of working together with people in order to build something, to like construct something kind of thing. Like, but it's all something that's going to bring you so much happiness. With this Four of Pentacles here, I feel like this is also going to bring you a lot of money. It's going to allow you to conserve a lot of wealth. It's going to allow you to build up a lot of prosperity and wealth for yourself, so that you can create that personal, like, like personal wealth system. Is that what I'm hearing? Like a personal wealth management system. So some of you might be like hiring finance managers, accountants, things like this, to like help you manage your own finances, to help you like balance the books, or like kind of manage the income that's coming in, whether it's payments from clients, whether it's like money from investments, you know, whatever it might be. But it's like you're building, I'm hearing like you're building a portfolio. So some of you might be building an investment portfolio or something, or you're just you're finding a way, you're constructing a way to like be able to manage your wealth, or manage your money better, or build up enough wealth to be totally independent, to build up enough stability and security, whether that's financially, materially, in a house, whatever it is you're sort of investing in. You're just going to have a lot of like physical stability and security on the actual physical plane. I feel like you've done a lot of emotional work to kind of find that within, in terms of within your own personal self. And now that's going to start to trickle out and be reflected in the physical realm, because pentacles are all about things showing up on the physical plane, like actual tangible, you know, touch it things like a table or a house or things like that, you know, or money in the bank or whatever it might be. So it's like there's something highlighted here with the trajectory that you're on at the moment. The path that you're going down at the moment is making plans, listening to your intuition, making plans to go towards finding this, creating this structure, finding this stability, creating this independence for yourself, creating money for yourself, creating wealth for yourself, creating like a little kind of like treasure box kind of thing, so that you've got like enough money for a rainy day, or you've got like money for the future or something like that. And with this Two of Cups here, I feel like this is going to get to a point where you can share this with other people eventually, or you can share this, whether this is with a partner, or you're going to collaborate with someone. You're going to end up in, it could be a business partnership even. Because I'm not so much picking up a love energy from this reading. This feels a lot more like it's to do with like your career, your purpose, your money, things like that. So I feel like with this particular Two of Cups, this is like eventually you're going to get to a point with this work or this investment where you can like collaborate with someone. You can go into some sort of agreement or collaboration, or go into business together with someone else, create some kind of something where you're going to be like mutually beneficial is what I'm hearing. So this could be like I don't know anything about the water finances, so I can't even really comment, but I'm kind of picking up a vibe of someone doing some sort of investment, shares and an investment type of thing. Like maybe you're creating, like you're going to offer shares in your company, or you're going to co-share in something, like co-invest in something, or go into an agreement together. Something like that. I don't even want to speculate because I'm literally extremely ignorant in that regard. I should study that kind of thing more. I feel like I'm, yeah, lacking in that area. But I feel like this is something that you guys are not, and that's the important thing, that you are taking that responsibility, you're taking that action towards creating this independence for yourself, towards creating a life where you're going to be able to support yourself, able to meet your needs. You're building something for yourself, you're building a strong future for yourself, and then eventually you're going to be in a position where you can somewhat share that with someone, or collaborate with someone, or come into partnership with someone. So really beautiful energy, pile number 4. I feel like this is quite straightforward energy. I'm also getting as well with the 4 of Pentacles. 4s can be a lot to do with creating a foundation as well. So yeah, you might be literally starting some kind of foundation. Like you might be starting a charity, a nonprofit, a foundation, where you're like, you're responsible for kind of earning money for that foundation in order to give it to others, to like, create, sort of help other people get on their feet. So I'm getting a vibe of someone who might be doing something like helping the homeless, or like helping young people get into better opportunities or something like that. So you'll have to comment below if that's resonating, because that's quite specific. It might just be for like one of you, but it'll be, yeah, it's really amazing energy. You're very forward thinking, very progressive. You're very much someone who takes action. You're creating a lot, you have a lot of power, and you're creating a lot of like good in your world, and a lot of like stability and security that you're then able to give to other people. For some of you as well, I'm picking up a vibe of someone who might be like adopting or something, like, or fostering or mentoring, something like that. Like once you're in a position where you've got everything kind of together, and you've got the stable structure and the stable foundation, you're then able to share that foundation with others. You're then able to like whether it's adopt a child, or mentor some young people or something like that, bring people into that foundation that you've created and share that with others. So let's have a look at your oracle cards to see where this is going. So 1 second, your candle's just gone out. Sorry about that, pile 4. I had to relight your candle for you. So let's have a look at your oracle cards to see what the outcome is going to be if you stay on this path. So we've got illumination. Beautiful. So yeah, maybe some of you have been going through a period of things being a little bit confusing or a bit cloudy, or there's been lack of clarity or lack of like certainty about which direction to go in. But I feel like this is what this Queen of Cups is coming in, where the more you listen to your intuition, the more you listen to your heart, the more you listen to your emotional self, the more like things will become illuminated. Like you'll get that clarity that you need to move forward in the direction that you want to go in. I feel like most of you know what that is. I'm kind of getting a vibe that you're pretty clear, you're pretty strong in like having that personal sovereignty to know your intuition, but it's maybe just like making sure you're really, really clear before you start to take action, like making sure everything is illuminated first before taking action towards something. That would kind of be the only thing that I feel like is sort of somewhat being highlighted here. So let's just move these up a little bit. So okay, we've got grounding, rooting in the power of your purpose. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. I love this. Yeah, I feel like with that Knight of Cups, it's like this is you taking action towards something important, something that is very emotionally fulfilling to you, something that is related to your purpose, or building something very significant or impactful in some sense. Like I do pick up a vibe of some of you doing something whether it's your own business, whether it's starting a foundation, a charity, doing very important work like that. So I feel like this after this period of illumination and getting clear on what direction you want to go in, It's actually like I spoke about with the pentacles. This is like things showing up in the physical realm. So this is just reiterating that it's like you're gonna ground in to that purpose. You're gonna bring that like that stability. You're gonna create that foundation, and whatever this purpose is that you're feeling called towards, that you're taking action on, you're gonna actually ground this into the physical realm. You're gonna literally make it happen is what I'm saying. Like you're going to, whatever this is, like create the company, like get the team together, build homes for people who don't have homes, whatever it might be. Like it's a literal physical thing. You're going to actually be taking action, actually grounding in your purpose, actually making it happen. And you'll all be at different stages of this. For some of you, you might be still getting clear on what that purpose is or what you most want to create or most want to take action on. For others of you, you're more at this stage now. You're just like kind of in the stage of actually grounding this into being. Like you kind of have already got clear on that. You know what it is. It's just like actually putting it into action now. It's like taking the physical steps of like going, okay, right, so I need to set up my own company. How do I do that? And then like having, like I said, some of you having meetings, you're like meeting with an accountant, you're meeting with a website designer, all of those kind of things. Like you're putting the actual physical things in place, like going through the strategy, going through the plans to actually make this happen. Next we have the Morrigan with sovereignty. Beautiful. I feel like this new path, this purpose, you moving towards your own purpose is going to give you so much sovereignty in your life. Like you are going to be sovereign. You're going to be like in charge of your own life. You're going to be in charge of your own world. You're going to be in charge of your own money, I feel like, in charge of your wealth, in charge of your stability. Like you're going to have that total control, that total reign over things. If you're setting up a company, if you're setting up your own business, like you're going to be the boss. You're going to be the CEO or the managing director or the head honcho or whatever it is. Like you're in charge of like what's going to happen. You're in charge of all the major decisions that need to be made, like how you're going to grow things, what projects you're going to get involved in, what clients you're going to work with. Like you have that sovereignty. You're the one who has the power. You're the one who has the sovereignty. Once you start taking action along this path, like you will create more and more sovereignty for yourself, I feel like. Next we have Alliance. Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. These cards are beautifully matching up with the tarot. This is what I was saying with the Two of Cups. Like eventually, once you've kind of like grounded in that purpose, you've created that like self-sovereignty for yourself. You've created that foundation and that security and stability for yourself in some way. Like maybe you've got to a point where you've built up the business after a few years and it's become successful and it's making a little bit of money or something, then you're able to go into a collaboration or a partnership or an alliance with someone else that might help you to grow this business or this project or this venture even further, right? Like they're able to like bring all their wisdom and their knowledge and their contacts and their money and whatever it is, like to the table as well. And you can both like bring these your respective like I guess like power in a way. Like both of you have a certain level of power that you're bringing together to make something even more powerful. It's like there's some sort of an alliance that can be made down the track that is going to like elevate this even more. Maybe some of you, I'm just getting a vibe, some of you might be like jewelry designers or something with these earrings here. Like some of you might be creating your own jewelry line, or like, you're going into business for yourself, making your own things. Like you make something. So you're creating that like financial freedom for yourself, that sovereignty for yourself by like making it, and then you're like selling it. You're making an alliance by selling it with some sort of like maybe you're coming into an alliance with like a shop or something, or like a chain of shops where they're going to stock your products and sell them for you, or you're going to do a collaboration with like another designer or another like an influencer or something like that, and then they like promote your products. Or like that's just one example I'm getting, but it could be that if you are If you, for example, I spoke about someone who was like doing some kind of charity thing or like non-profit or something, setting up some kind of non-profit. Maybe the alliance that you're coming into is getting funding, right? Like you're getting a sponsorship agreement or a sponsorship partnership or funding from somewhere, that's going to give you the necessary money, right? The necessary support that you need in order to grow this thing, to really like be fully carry out your purpose, fully carry out your mission, even more is what I'm getting. So yeah, wow, that is really beautiful energy. And I feel like that is all the energy that I have for you, pile number 4. That's all the messages that I have. I'm just going to check if there's kind of anything that I've missed. No, this was quite a straightforward reading, pile number 4. The energy that you're on is like kind of, yep, you guys are on the right trajectory. You're on your path. You're on your mission. Like you are aligned with your purpose, whatever you've started doing. Even if you're still just in this stage here of getting clear, that is still the beginning stage, right? Like, this is the part where you start to, really listen to your intuition. You listen to your heart. You're getting that illumination through. So as long as you're doing that, that's the right place to begin so that you can go in this direction towards your dreams, towards your purpose, towards that self-sovereignty. So like, don't fear if you're like, oh, but I'm not clear yet. I don't know what my purpose is, or like I'm still trying to hear my intuition. Like that's totally fine. That's the stage that you're at, but that's the right place to be. Like you're in exactly the right place. And like, the outcome that is assured even from this process of like spending the time getting clear and listening to your intuition, this is still assured for you. This outcome of finding that personal power, grounding in your purpose, creating self-sovereignty for yourself and maybe potentially even others, like if you're doing something where you're giving support to others in some way, and then eventually possibly coming into some kind of alliance with someone else as well. I'm also getting, because I'm getting with this drum here, the 4 directions. So I feel like maybe this alliance or this agreement or collaboration that you come into is going to allow you to like share your product or your service with more of the world. It's like it's going to allow you to kind of like collaborate or like spread your work further out into the world. So this could be a very like powerful collaboration, I feel like, whoever this is or whatever this is. So it'll be different for all of you. I'm getting kind of quite a few different things. Some of you are kind of makers, creators. Some of you are like, starting some kind of nonprofit type thing. Some of you are starting your own business, being like an entrepreneur or a freelancer. So it's all different, but just take what resonates and leave the rest. And I hope that did resonate for you. Leave a comment below if you feel comfortable to. I always enjoy hearing about your journeys and how the readings resonate. If you enjoyed this reading, hit the like button because it helps my little channel to grow. I so appreciate each and every one of you who has been doing that. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. All the best with this journey. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already, and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love.